What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new episode of The 8 Below Show. Welcome everyone to 8 Below. Thanks for being here, guys, to the best gaming related show here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. Guys, I am so excited about the new Dead Space that got announced by EA that's coming to us from Motive, the developers, of course, guys, who worked on Star Wars Squadrons. And so what I want to go ahead and do is talk a lot about Dead Space. This entire episode, for the most part, is going to have mainly Dead Space, guys, because man, am I excited about this title. It's going to be coming out, guys, at some point in the foreseeable future. Got our very first teaser trailer. I can't wait to see what this game all encompasses. But what I want to go ahead and do in this segment of the show is talk about everything that we know so far about Dead Space. And we can have a real conversation about it in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. So guys, Dead Space, the official Twitter account, after all these years, finally is back. And we got none other than a tweet from Dead Space. At Dead Space, incoming rig link message, distress signal detected uploading. December, your worst nightmare, limb by limb, revisit the first Dead Space, rebuilt from the ground up by Motive. So here's the big question is this a full-blown remaster, or is this a totally new type of, game almost, like just a reimagining of the first game? Or is this going to be, just kind of, revisiting Dead Space, the original? What exactly is this game going to all encompass, guys, is definitely a lot of those are significant questions. But at the same time, I think that the big thing is this going to be more of a remaster, or is it going to be a remake? What really is this title going to be? Well, with that being said, guys, obviously Dead Space is very close and dear to my heart. I'm so excited that this game is coming out. In a article that was written by Andrew Webster of The Verge, Next Gen Horror. One of Survivor Horror's most iconic games is getting a next-gen facelift. At its EA Play Live event, Electronic Arts revealed that a remake of the original Dead Space is in development and will be launching on the PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. The publisher says the game is rebuilt from the ground up with EA's Frostbite engine, and Studio Motive, best known for the space shooter Star Wars Squadrons, will be handling development. There's currently no release date. This will mark the first entry in the franchise since Dead Space 3 in 2013. Obviously, the original 3 were made by Visceral Games, guys. That got shut down, but with Motive there, I feel good about it. The one thing I'm a little bit, concerned with is Motive obviously hasn't worked on the other Dead Space games. Obviously, they're doing this as a, remake, kind of trying to rebuild the first game from the ground up, which is absolutely awesome. I'm so excited to see exactly what they're working on. But at the end of the day, Visceral was the company that made the first 3 games. Now, sure, the third game was definitely a step in the wrong direction for Dead Space, but it's still a part of this franchise. So I just really hope that Motive is taking the care like they say they are in creating this project. Which is so exciting because at the end of the day, guys, there is a lot of talk as to this and the timing of Dead Space coming out versus obviously the Callisto Protocol, which is made by Glenn Schofield, who was one of the creators of Dead Space, and that game's going to be coming out. And so it's a really great timing, obviously, for this title to come out. I got to tell you guys, I am incredibly excited to see exactly, what this game is all going to encompass. Now, as far as the trailer's concerned, guys, obviously there's not a ton that is really shown, other than the possibility that Isaac Clarke is returning. So, this is being rebuilt from the ground up, so Isaac Clarke most likely will be in this title. But that being said, what else is there going to be? We know necromorphs. I got a lot of vibes of the Callisto Protocol in this trailer as well. Just, the necromorph being, forming, and how the creature in the Callisto Protocol kind of came to be. It's really interesting how these are both obviously vying for the same fan base. But that being said, there's a lot here, even though there's very little. The big thing is, guys, we don't have a release date yet. So When are we going to be able to get our hands on the game? I would assume, guys, depending on what this game's going to encompass, is it going to be multiplayer? Is it going to be single player? Motive has been very quiet about up to this point, but I'll be sure to give you guys more information as it comes out, guys. I'll be making a lot of Dead Space content, so stay here for more Dead Space content. And I've made a lot of Dead Space content in the past if you guys want to check that out as well. But that being said, guys, is this game going to have multiplayer? Is it going to have co-op? Is it going to have, mainly just a single player story? I'm just hoping that they take this game, they put everything they've got into it, that being Motive and EA, as far as from making it a full package, having it so that we have multiple ways that we can connect with the franchise or the game itself, and just service it as we go. Don't make it just a single player story. Make it single player and multiplayer and co-op. Keep us coming back to the game over and over again. But that being said, guys, a lot of it is still up in the air, and I'll be sure, like I said, to keep you guys all up to speed as more information comes out. What do you guys think about Dead Space coming back, and what do you think about the things that we know so far? Let me know in the comment section down below, and for more Dead Space content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. There is a ton of excitement around the new Dead Space, guys, that's coming out. I mean, we can look just from the likes to dislike ratio, the number of views, and this is just based on Dead Space's, official YouTube channel alone. I am so excited for this title. There is so much to be excited about. It gives you the vibes of the Callisto Protocol's original, trailer that came out. So obviously Dead Space is wanting to show that it is still king in this universe, right? And that's something that's incredibly exciting, guys. Obviously, Motive's very aware that the Callisto Protocol is coming out, being made by Glenn Schofield, who obviously is one of the creators of Dead Space. There's so much to be excited about. Seeing the necromorph being being morphed into its being, seeing what looks to be Isaac Clarke cut off their limbs. All of those things really show you something that looks special. And this image of Dead Space with the Frostbite engine and, just everything about this gets me incredibly excited, to say the least, guys. I am very excited to see where they go with this title. Is it going to be just a single player story or a single player remake built from the ground up? Which I'm very excited to see Motive and what their vision for that is. There is a lot here that to be excited about. Just the simple fact that Dead Space is back, guys. This is one of my favorite horror games of all time. And you guys know that I'm a massive horror fan, whether we're talking movies, games, whatever the case might be. This one, I have a signed picture, which I've shown on the YouTube channel a multitude of times, of the Isaac Clarke voice, which of course is Gunnar Wright, who is, was a great voice of Isaac Clarke. And I don't know if he's coming back. I'm definitely going to reach out to him and see if he's coming back to be the voice of Isaac Clarke or whatever the case might be. I am incredibly excited about this title, guys. Now, there's a lot of unknowns here. Are we going to get co-op? Are we going to get multiplayer? Is it just going to be a single-player story? Is this going to lead us to the next generation of Dead Space? That being like a new trilogy, a continuation, a remaster of the original 3, with this being the remake. Still a lot of question marks around this title, but I'm going to be giving you guys a ton of Dead Space content. I've already had a lot of Dead Space content on the YouTube channel trying to voice this title into existence. And finally, guys, Dead Space is back. And that is an amazing thing to be able to say to all of you. Let's talk about it in the comment section down below. What do you think about the upcoming Dead Space title? A lot of you are incredibly excited along with me. Let's go, baby. What do you guys think, though? Let's have a real conversation about it in the comment section down below. And for more Dead Space content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. Dead Space has quickly climbed to one of my most anticipated games of the future, guys. And, it's funny because the game that was on the very top of my list for most anticipated games of the future was the Callisto Protocol, which is, of course, made by the creator of Dead Space, being Glenn Schofield. And the Callisto Protocol looks like an absolutely intense and very unnerving experience. But I gotta tell you, I'm really excited about what I'm seeing from this next iteration of Dead Space, coming in the form of a rebuilt title, which is really exciting, and this could be something that is absolutely amazing. My hope, though, is that there's a number of things that obviously I won, and I'm sure many of you won, out of this upcoming Dead Space title. And so I want to go through that as to everything that we want in this upcoming Dead Space iteration. So let's get into it. So with that being said, guys, for me, for those of you who've watched my YouTube channel, you know that one of the biggest things for me when we talk about any title, for the most part, AAA titles, though, need a full package, and I want to see that out of Dead Space. So the original Dead Space, guys, obviously comes out, single player story, absolutely takes the horror community by storm, and people absolutely love this title. We're talking about it for years to come, and it created this cult following from Dead Space 2, Dead Space 3, to Dead Space movies, to comics, and things of that nature. So really what I want is a full package, more ways that this diverse, exciting community of gamers that love, horror and love Dead Space, a full package would give us, what I mean by that, being a single player story, co-op modes, and multiplayer modes. Ways that we can connect with the title moving forward after you beat that single player story. Because a lot of times after you beat the original story, you might play it a couple of times through and then move on to other games. But if there's multiplayer, if there's co-op, there's more ways to connect. And that's so, so important, guys. That leads me to number 2. One thing that Dead Space did wrong, and that being Visceral and EA, is they went away from the roots of Dead Space in Dead Space 3. It used to be this horror game with action elements, but in Dead Space 3 it changed. It flip-flopped to being an action game with some horror elements. And so what I want them to do is to go back to what it once was. And it sounds like Motive is going to take real care of this IP and of course this title, because this is, a community that has been wanting this game. We've got it echoed, back into existence, guys. And that being said, I think that they want to take a lot of care in this title where it goes back to the roots. But that's number 2 for me. At number 3, guys, I really want to see, new enemies, new characters, new locations, but I also want to have some of those similar characters. We already see from the trailer, you got the Necromorph, and then of course looks like Isaac Clarke. So we want some familiarity there, but I'd like them to add some new enemies, some new weapons, some new locations, things of that nature to kind of keep things fresh, even though we're in that Dead Space universe. We want there to be fresh things, and that can even expand to co-op and multiplayer. Even though co-op was in Dead Space 3, I want to see multiplayer added here. Have similarities and keep it grounded in Dead Space, that terror that many of us experienced back with the original Dead Space, but obviously expand upon it a little bit, expand the lore, the legacy, the story moving forward for the next generation of Dead Space. And coming in, guys, at number 4 for me, I would really love to see, if we get a full package, that being multiplayer, co-op, and single player, the customization features. I thought customization in the single player story for Dead Space, and Dead Space 2, those were awesome. Being able to customize your armor, upgrade over time, and that would be awesome to be able to transfer over to co-op, to transfer over to multiplayer, where everything works together in unison. So what you do in the multiplayer can, obviously be transferred over to the single player to co-op, and I think that customization is so cool, and they could really expand upon the customization and features of your suit, of your armor, your weapons, and all of those different things to just make it a really exciting experience where it's, able to transfer over to the other modes. And coming in, guys, at number 5 for me, I really don't want there to be microtransactions whatsoever. And Motive has promised no microtransactions, which is awesome. However, if we get free-to-play elements, which I'm hoping we get multiplayer free, or even co-op, or even the single-player story, something that attract a lot of people to at least try, having free-to-play elements also justifies microtransactions. Obviously, you don't want microtransactions that are going to be deceptive to the consumer, but that being said, it's more justifiable to have microtransactions if you have free-to-play elements in the game, like multiplayer and things of that nature, kind of like Fortnite, Warzone, so on and so forth. And so I'd like to see, I would really like to see free-to-play elements and no microtransactions, but if we do have microtransactions with, those free-to-play elements, it's justifiable, but I would love to see, guys, a place where we get some free-to-play elements. That would be absolutely awesome. So for me, guys, those are the 5 things that I really want to see out of Dead Space, the things that I want. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you want to see in the upcoming Dead Space remake? Let me know. And for more Dead Space content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. With the next Call of Duty just around the corner, and we're waiting to hear more about Call of Duty 2021, even though there's been leaks and rumors and things of that nature, I want to give you guys the things that I want out of COD 2021, and I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm going to say everything that we want, guys, and, you know, even though we're going to be saying I'm just going to be giving you guys my thoughts and opinions from things that I've heard from you, from Twitter and Facebook and things of that nature, but I definitely want to hear what you guys think. Some of the things you may disagree on, some of the things you may agree on. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. So the number one thing that I want to see out of COD 2021 is really going to be a full package, guys. We know that Black Ops 4, we got, you know, obviously a multiplayer. We got the Battle Royale being, of course, Blackout, and they replaced having Blackout and they took out a single player story. So what I want to see in this one, obviously, is multiplayer, single player, as well as co-op modes. I want to have a full package, and that's what I mean by a full package. And I believe that we will probably get that here with COD 2021, but it's definitely on the top of my list. At number 2, a lot of people are talking about what time period we going into. For me, guys, I would like to go modern or futuristic a little bit. So whether we're talking Black Ops 2 style, we're talking about Call of Duty Ghosts, somewhere in that ballpark where, you know, we're not necessarily super far in the future, like no jetpacks or anything of that nature, but going into the future a little bit and having, you know, futuristic weapons and or even just modern day weapons, I would like that. I feel that we had Black Ops Cold War. We're obviously getting a lot of leaks and such right now that apparently the next COD is going to be another World War II title, and I am not very happy about that if that turns out to be true. For me, guys, make it future or modern day. At number 3, a big game mode I absolutely loved that we lost back in the, Call of Duty Ghosts was Extinction. And I want to see Extinction come back. I'm sick of zombies and, even Spec Ops and things of that nature. Some of these modes I just have, I enjoy, but I really want to see Extinction come back. I thought there was something really special about that, and I would love to see that expanded upon. When we think about when we think about Extinction, you think about something where instead of zombies, you got aliens, and instead of, after you die, starting all over again, you are able to actually beat it. And I thought that was a really cool concept, and so I'd like to see that expanded upon in COD 2021. Coming in at number 4, guys, a lot of weapons I really want to see return. One of them, of course, I've been asking for years is the Intervention. Now, obviously, Sledgehammer are the ones that are working on this game, so to think that they're going to bring the Intervention back, and that's an Infinity Ward weapon from Modern Warfare 2, I feel like they probably won't be able to, but I still want to see some of these weapons from the older CODs like Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 2 in particular. I want to see those in this next iteration, Call of Duty title. I think that would be absolutely awesome, and I hope that they're able to pull that off. Coming in at number 5, guys. Lots of people say, hey, I want this to be a Call of Duty all on its own. Some are saying I want it to be a continuation of a COD we've already had, and I am in that camp. I want to see Call of Duty Ghosts 2. That is the 5th thing I really want to see out of COD 2021. I've made a lot of videos on Call of Duty Ghosts 2. You guys can check out all of that content here, but I really want a Ghosts 2. Even though Ghosts 1 wasn't the greatest game ever in the Call of Duty franchise, I would like to see that one made simply because I felt that it had one of the best single-player stories of any of the Call of Duties, and it was such a cliffhanger. I would love to see what happens next. And then on top of that, I think they could really continue and expand upon the multiplayer and kind of, maybe improving upon a number of things. The multiplayer and all of that, I think, could certainly be worked on and could become something special. So I'd love to see Call of Duty Ghosts 2 as the next COD in the franchise. That being said, it's hard to say if they would do that just, with Call of Duty Ghosts and different developers and developer teams. Would they bring it back this year? Would it be a different year? It's hard to say, but I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you want to see out of COD 2021? Let me know, and let's have a real conversation about it. And for more Call of Duty content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. We've talked a lot on the YouTube channel about Mafia 4 and this franchise moving forward, guys. Mafia is an absolutely incredible title. I've said multiple times that Mafia is better to me than GTA, than Grand Theft Auto. I've always liked the Mafia franchise more than Grand Theft Auto. I've always felt, though, that Mafia has been held back a little bit because it's only a single-player story. If it were to expand to multiplayer modes like Mafia Online, kind of like what GTA did, and added like co-op and things of that nature as a full package, it could be a really special title. Well, obviously, guys, we're hearing a lot of leaks, rumors about Mafia 4, so everything that you hear here is you gotta take it with a pinch of salt, but there have been more leaks, and I want to talk about where we stand with Mafia 4, so let's get into it. So, guys, in an article that was written by Samir Omerovich of AltShare, first Mafia details reportedly leak online. Set in Las Vegas, features 2 protagonists. The latest leak states that Mafia 4 game is currently in development, and apparently it's set in Las Vegas, and it follows a dirty cop, Hayne, who gets involved in a gambling scam. The next Mafia game is yet to be announced by the publisher 2K Games, but it's safe to assume that one is in development right now, despite the disappointing Mafia 3. Today we have first details about the game thanks to a leak from Reddit. So, keep in mind that there is not much in this leak. It's basically a couple of pieces of information, which could mean that the leak is indeed legit. You want to stay away from those big detail lists when it comes to leaks and rumors. So anyway, the leaker states that he has a close relative who works at ESRB for Canada reviewing tax scripts from games. Most properties are in code names, but being an avid gamer, the person managed to figure out it's a script from a Mafia game. It's codenamed Sam Boyd 4, which they believe to be Mafia 4. The setting of the game is codenamed Saint Fortuna, which is Las Vegas, and Las Haven is also included. The story will revolve around over multiple time periods. The main protagonist of the game is a dirty cop named Hayne who gets involved in a gambling scam early on. Additionally, the game is very branching in terms of who you want Hayne to be. Crack down in the mob or join them. The game also has a second protagonist who is a judge in Las Haven whose missions will consist of trials of mobsters, career spans from the 40s to the 80s. So, that being said, guys, you really got to take this with a pinch of salt, right? So obviously, the setting in Las Vegas has been something that's been out there for a while. The leak came out that it was going to be set in Las Vegas, which I think is the best spot for them to go with the Mafia franchise. Las Vegas is perfect. Now, as far as having 2 different protagonists and such, that is an interesting concept. We'll have to kind of wait and see how that looks. Maybe it'll be a good step in the right direction for Mafia. I am incredibly excited about Mafia 4. Obviously, guys, we don't have, confirmation from Hangar 13 and Take-Two and 2K Games that, of what this is all going to encompass, or like trailers, things of that nature, really even officially saying that this game really exists. But from multiple leaks, from what we hear so far, I'm very excited about the potential direction that Mafia 4 is going in, and I'll be sure to keep you guys up to speed as more information comes out. I think we're getting closer and closer to hearing more about this title, guys. I'm very excited about it. Hope you guys all are as well. Let me know, though, in the comment section down below. Do you like Mafia more than GTA, or is that just me? Or, what do you guys think about Mafia 4, and where do you guys want this to take place? What do you think it's all going to encompass? What do you hope it encompasses? Let me know. And for more Mafia 4 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. We've talked on the YouTube channel about Fear and this franchise, past, present, and what could be the future of it. And I want to talk about Fear 4 in particular, guys. The unannounced, unreleased, kind of wondering where this title is. Is it going to come out at some point in the future? Well, is it, going to stay in a limbo state or a state of no return? I want to talk about where we stand with Fear 4. So let's talk about it. So, guys, I think it's really important that we preface by saying that Fear 1 and Fear 2. First Encounter Assault Recon was what Fear stands for. And, obviously this is a franchise that I thought was absolutely terrifying. The first two games, terrifying beyond belief. I mean, the second one I thought was even scarier than the first one. It was like crazy. Kind of remind me of Dead Space. Dead Space was really creepy, and then Dead Space 2 was even creepier. And then, of course, just like Dead Space, Fear 3 was a step in the wrong direction. Dead Space 3 was a step in the wrong direction as well. And ever since those two games, we haven't heard of anything since outside of Dead Space, obviously getting announced that we're going to have another continuation, which is absolutely awesome. So what about Fear? Well, the thing is where we stand at this point in time, guys, is Fear 4 has not been announced. There's no real rumblings that this title is coming or is coming out at any point in the foreseeable future. The things that we do know is that Day One Studios, the developer of none other than Fear 3, they haven't really worked on much of anything since Fear 3 came out. Now, what they are working on is obviously, they're working on a title called Reign of Thunder, which is still to be announced, still hasn't come out yet. Now, they have worked on of course, World of Tanks, that was in 2014, and that's been something that they've been working on now pretty consistently. But that's as Wargaming Chicago Baltimore, which is what the team was rebranded to from Day One Studios. And so where does that leave us here? Well, obviously, the company that owns this title, that being, of course, Fear, is Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment. And so they own it. And the question is are we going to get a continuation of Fear at some point or another in the foreseeable future? And to me, the answer is, guys, is right now it's not looking too good. I mean, obviously it's been a long time, even longer since, Dead Space 3 to now. I mean, Fear 3, guys, this is a title that came out back in 2011. So, I mean, a number of years ago. Dead Space 3 came out in 2013. This was in 2011. We still haven't heard anything about a continuation. And I got to tell you guys, I think that Fear 3 and then Fear Online, which I thought was going to be something that could be really special, but was almost beyond its time. I think it would be really popular now, but they haven't continued, and that was shut down a while back. I think Fear 4 is in some trouble. Of ever seeing the light of day. Now, obviously, Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment may say, hey, let's revisit this and see what we can do with it. Kind of like what EA's doing now with Dead Space. I keep bringing up Dead Space, guys, because both of these were in similar bags, and now, obviously, Dead Space is out there, that it's a new edition's coming. Fear, I believe, needs to have a continuation, but it could even have like a remake similar to what they're doing with Dead Space, kind of a rebuilt from the ground up type of story, scale. Bring Fear Online back. I think it could be something really special. An absolutely awesome game that had a couple of, obviously it had a couple of sequels, right? We had, up to Fear 3, so a trilogy. Does Warner Brothers Interactive want to keep it as a trilogy, or do they want to continue it at some point? And it's hard to say, guys. It's really hard to say. This game, I believe, was beyond its time, and unfortunately, it's kind of in that limbo state, or that state of no return. I don't know if we're ever going to get anything, but where we are right at this moment, haven't heard anything about a continuation, but it could just take one day, guys, for there to be word that, hey, this series is coming back. There's a lot of talk, whether you're talking from leaks or whatever the case might be. There is a real excitement around Dead Space, and I think that same excitement would certainly be there around Fear. Fear was a title, guys, that was pretty popular, and a lot of people absolutely love this title. So bring it back, Warner Brothers. I really hope that they decide to bring it back, or at least sell the IP to the highest bidder, or a developer team that would love to handle this title with care. But with that being said, guys, what do you think? Do you think we'll ever see a Fear 4? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Fear 4 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. One of the most asked about Call of Duty titles or continuations that I've seen is Call of Duty Ghost 2, guys. many of you out there, even though a lot of people, there was mixed or average reviews and such for Call of Duty Ghosts and that title, it still sold a ton of copies, 19 million copies and counting. And so a lot of copies, guys, were sold of Call of Duty Ghosts, the first one. And so that being said, Call of Duty Ghosts 2, where do we stand with this title? Is this going to be one that will come out at some point or another? What do you guys think? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. So for me, guys, Call of Duty Ghosts 2, where we stand with it is obviously COD 2021 has not been announced yet. So could it potentially be Call of Duty Ghosts 2? There's definitely possibility, guys, but obviously I think we can all agree that the chances of it are pretty unlikely because Call of Duty Ghosts 1 was, of course, made by and developed by Infinity Ward. And so most likely, Infinity Ward would be the ones to make Call of Duty Ghosts 2, and we know that Sledgehammer is currently working on COD 2021, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. What would make more sense would be, Advanced Warfare 2, essentially, by none other than Sledgehammer. But could we get next year being, an Infinity Ward title, Call of Duty Ghosts 2? Very possibly. The reason why I think Call of Duty Ghosts 2 would be awesome, guys, is not only is it one of the most asked for Call of Duty continuations, but it had one of the best story modes in all of Call of Duty, like in such a cliffhanger. You wanted to see what happens next, and we never got to see that. So I think that is something that we definitely want to see moving forward, is a continuation of that story. The multiplayer, sure, it had some, there were some bad maps, there were some decent ones. Gameplay was okay, but it could certainly be expanded upon or made better moving forward. They can look at Infinity Ward and see what they did right, wrong, and what they can do different moving forward. The problem with, Call of Duty Ghosts 2 and that game ever coming is because Infinity Ward's going to want to continue pumping resources, and Activision as well, into Modern Warfare, because that's the popular one, right? And, Treyarch can be saying the same thing about Black Ops. That's their most popular title, so why not continue that? And so the team that makes the most sense to make Call of Duty Ghosts 2 or an Advanced Warfare 2, even though I don't want an Advanced Warfare 2, is, of course, Sledgehammer, because they don't really necessarily have a super popular game that everyone's asking for a continuation of. Call of Duty Ghosts 2, even though Infinity Ward worked on it, I would love to see, none other than Sledgehammer do that title, because not only is Sledgehammer good at doing story mode from World War II, and probably what they could do potentially with Call of Duty Ghosts 2, Advanced Warfare I thought was a good, a good campaign as well. I think they could do a really good job. Multiplayer-wise, they're not the best at doing multiplayer modes, that being Sledgehammer, but I still would love to see their version of Call of Duty Ghosts 2, because I don't think any of the other developers are going to make it outside of potentially Sledgehammer. So where do we stand? Right now, guys, it's not looking good for Call of Duty Ghosts 2, simply because Infinity Ward is probably going to be solely focused on Modern Warfare and that franchise and sub-series moving forward. Sledgehammer doesn't do Call of Duty Ghosts, and so if they did something, it would probably be Advanced Warfare 2 or just another World War II title, which is what has been rumored anyway for COD 2021, which I'm certainly not happy about it. But that being said, this is kind of where we stand with it. Do I think that we could get a Call of Duty Ghosts 2 in the future? Absolutely. Could it be as soon as next year? Absolutely. It would be great if it was this year, but I just don't know if we're going to get that. I would love to see it, but nonetheless, guys, I'm going to continue making Call of Duty Ghosts 2 content regardless. We're going to try to echo this game into existence without a doubt. Let me know, though, do you guys want to see a Call of Duty Ghosts 2 at some point in the future? Let me know. And for more Call of Duty Ghosts 2 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. With the return of Dead Space, which, guys, you all know I'm incredibly excited about the return of Dead Space. You guys can check out all of my Dead Space 4 content, all my Dead Space content on the YouTube channel. We're going to have a lot of it moving forward now that, of course, Dead Space got announced that it's coming back as a rebuilt, game from the ground up, coming to us from Motive and EA, Motive being the ones who made Star Wars Squadrons, which I think was a fantastic title, to say the least. The big question is this the return of Isaac Clarke? Obviously, guys, Isaac Clarke being the main character in the first 3 titles, I want to see, is this a return of him as the main character? I think that we saw the trailer. It looks like it's definitely Isaac Clarke. We don't know for sure. Are they going to kind of change characters on us? Is Gunnar Wright going to be the voice actor for Isaac Clarke in this iteration? This, complete rebuild, like completely putting it back together and bringing Dead Space back to the forefront of horror, which I'm so excited about. But is this a return of Isaac Clarke? And I'm going to give you guys a couple of reasons why I think it should certainly be. Look, we all know what happened to Dead Space. The big thing that happened was we had Dead Space 1, Dead Space 2 were absolutely incredible. Dead Space 2, I thought, outperformed Dead Space 1 as far as just from sheer terror and excitement around that title. Really starting to build the franchise. Dead Space 3 was a step in the wrong direction for a number of reasons, but the main one being the first 2 games were based and specifically developed around horror with some action elements. Well, what ended up happening with Dead Space 3, it flip-flopped, right? It was action over horror, but it was an action game with horror elements in it. And that's what it felt like, even though it's technically in the Dead Space universe. And so what I'm getting at here is the return of Isaac Clarke would mean, hey, you know what? We realize what we did right and wrong and what we can do different moving forward. And so Visceral Games being shut down, Motive now coming into the forefront as the new guy on the block to try to really steer the ship in the right direction after Dead Space 3. I think Motive absolutely can do it. The trailer suggests that this is going to be absolutely awesome and an exciting title to say the least. We haven't seen any game footage yet. Gives us kind of that vibe of the Callisto Protocol, and you can definitely tell that these two games are going to be fighting and vying for that top spot in the horror and really trying to bring horror to the next generation. That being said, I got to tell you, Isaac Clarke would mean yes, like we are continuing this story, his legacy. Everything is continuing with him. Does that mean that we could be getting more comics, more, movies and such that come out around this title? They were moving in such a great direction with Dead Space. I mean, could even make, full-blown feature films out of this title with, real people and such, or, whatever the case might be. Dead Space has a real place in my heart, and I think that Isaac Clarke made that franchise, right? The sheer terror did, but going into his shoes and experiencing what it was like to try to get to know who he was as a just as a person, and all of that is so intriguing and interesting. And I think going back to that is going to bring back so many memories, so much nostalgia. So please, EA and Motive, it looks like it's Isaac Clarke, but can we get confirmation that it is Isaac Clarke? And can we see exactly what the direction is here? I want to see, is this really like a remake? Is it kind of a remaster with like just added elements? What is this exactly? This iteration of Dead Space? I really want to know that, and I'm excited to find out more, guys, and do make a ton of content around Dead Space. So if you enjoy it, definitely hit that thumbs up button. If you guys enjoy the content, guys, it helps out the YouTube channel a massive way. If you want to subscribe to get all the Dead Space content, do that as well. And I want to thank you guys all for the support, but let me know what you guys think with Dead Space coming back. Should it be a return of Isaac Clarke or new characters altogether? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Dead Space content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. Redfall is a title we've talked about on the YouTube channel. I plan on talking about it more in the future, guys, because this is a title that's really intriguing to me. I'm excited about it after seeing the reveal trailers and such. I'm really excited about Redfall. Being a massive horror fan, obviously, guys, anything of, within this realm is something that gets me really excited, and Redfall looks to be a special title. What I want to go ahead and do in this segment of the show is talk about everything that we want in Redfall, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. You may agree with some of the things I'm saying, disagree, whatever the case might be. Let me know what are the things that you want to see in Redfall. Let's get into it. Coming in, guys, at number 1 for me, as always, full package. I want to see Redfall have a fantastic story, really immerse us in this world, but I also want to see multiplayer. I also want to see co-op so that we have multiple ways after we beat the story once or twice, however many times, we're able to connect in other ways, multiplayer, playing PvP or PvP elements, having co-op where you can play with your friends and things of that nature. All of that is going to help support the legacy, the lore that they hopefully are trying to build for the long-term future. At number 2, I really want to see Redfall be different than other horror games, right? Obviously, there's going to be things that are going to remind you of certain titles, but I really want it to stand alone in its own way. And I think that's really important moving forward. Whether it's the multiplayer, whether it's this single player, whether it's co-op, whatever it might be, I want there to be elements that are really different. And it seems to be a different type of title that I am incredibly excited to get my hands on. But at the same time, I just want it to be different from the crowd for sure. At number 3, I really want to see a variety here of different weapons, enemies, different characters that you're coming in contact with, whether you're talking a semi-open world, open world, whatever the case might be. I really want to see a variety of different locations, variety when we're talking about weapons and what you can use to take down the enemies. Variety of enemies, variety of the different people that you're coming in contact with throughout the game. I think all of that is going to help build the story, build that legacy, the lore moving forward. And that leads me to number 4. I would love to see free-to-play elements in this title, whether that be the story, whether it be the multiplayer, whether it be co-op, whatever it is. I'd love to see something be free to play just so it gets more people, gets more eyeballs. People at least download it just to try it and see what it's all about. Look at Fortnite, look at Warzone, look at Valorant, all these titles that are now free to play. So many people are playing them, and it's because it's free to play. They're at least giving it a try. So I'd love to see that here with Redfall. And coming in, guys, at number 5 for me, I really want the developers to have the mindset, yes, we want to make this the best game, like this is the only game you're going to be making out of the Redfall universe. But I also want them to have in the back of their mind, let's make this a franchise. Let's make this so good that we have a plan for what's to come afterwards. Whether we're talking updates, whether we're talking another story in the second game, like a Redfall 2, making this a elongated, franchise, I think is incredibly important moving forward because we need more horror franchises. There's a need for it. People love this genre, and it's got a really, it's more or less no longer a niche community. Let's build this thing out to something awesome. And so I think that's something the developers definitely need to do. And I'm sure that they will do it and like I said, really though, with the mindset, keep this game as good as possible. Take your time, make it incredible, but with the mindset that you want there to be a continuation. Let me know though, guys, what are the things that you guys want to see out of Redfall? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Redfall content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of the 8 Below Show. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.